Welcome back. Our top story: the Trump administration has slapped a steep 25% tariff on Indian goods, citing India's continued purchase of Russian oil. With us from New Delhi is Professor Mohsin Raza Khan, international relations expert. What exactly has the White House announced, and what's the real justification?
The US has imposed a 25% tariff on a wide range of Indian exports, with another 25% likely soon. Officially, it's about national security. They claim India's Russian oil buys undermine efforts to isolate Moscow.
50% tariffs. This feels like economic warfare. How is India reacting?
There's anger and confusion. Many here see this as hypocritical, since European nations still import Russian energy without facing such penalties. India's government insists our oil purchases are about energy security for 1.4 billion people.
Is India being unfairly singled out?
Absolutely. The prevailing view is that India is being made an example for reasons beyond the stated rationale.
What's the mood in policy circles?
Deep frustration. Officials feel this is punitive and undermines trust between the two countries.
Is this a turning point in US-India relations?
It could be. The sense is that this move is about more than just oil, it's about leverage.
Thank you, Professor. Is this really about Ukraine, or is it Trump's transactional style using tariffs to pry open India's market for US goods?
It's transactional. The message is clear. Buy less from Russia, more from America, energy, weapons, everything. It's a strong-arm tactic to shift trade in America's favor.
Does this undermine the strategic partnership built to counter China?
Yes, the long-term strategy is sidelined for short-term economic gain.
How is Russia responding?
Russia condemns the tariffs and supports India, using this to paint the West as overreaching. It strengthens Russia's hand in New Delhi.
Could this push India closer to Russia or even China?
Not fully. India has deep mistrust of China, but it does force India to rethink its partnerships and diversify away from any single superpower.
Is India's strategic autonomy at risk?
The risk is real, but India values its independence. This move complicates our foreign policy calculus.
Could this backfire on the US?
It might. Forcing India's hand could weaken America's influence in the region.
What's next for India's foreign policy?
Re-evaluation and diversification. India won't be bullied into a corner.
Let's talk real-world impact. The US is India's largest trading partner. These tariffs will hurt.
Over half our exports to the US could be hit. Sectors like textiles, apparel, gems, and auto parts. Millions of jobs are at risk.
What's the human cost?
Potentially massive job losses and social unrest. These industries are the backbone of our manufacturing workforce.
Could this hurt American companies too?
Absolutely. US firms like Apple, Walmart, and Amazon rely on Indian supply chains. Tariffs disrupt their operations and raise costs.
Does this undermine the China Plus One strategy?
Yes, American companies invested in India to diversify away from China. Now they face new uncertainty.
Who pays the price?
Either US companies absorb the costs, hurting profits, or pass them to consumers, fueling inflation.
Is this a lose-lose scenario?
In many ways, yes, both economies stand to suffer.
Thank you for the insight. The Indian government faces a tough choice: stand firm or negotiate. Where does it stand?
The likely approach is to project strength publicly while quietly seeking compromise. There's a strong call for defiance, but the economic risks are huge.
What might a deal look like?
We might also lower tariffs on some American goods, giving Trump a win. India could cap Russian oil imports and agree to buy more US energy.
Is there a middle ground?
That's the goal. Protect energy security while placating Washington enough to lift the tariffs.
Is India willing to make concessions?
Only up to a point. Strategic autonomy is non-negotiable.
How soon could this be resolved?
It depends on both sides' willingness to compromise.
Thank you, Professor.
My pleasure. Professor, thank you for your insights. India must be proactive, not just reactive in Washington. There's growing recognition that we need to understand America at every level: politics, business, public opinion. Is the government on board? It's a start. Building expertise is a long-term project, but this crisis has made it urgent. Will this help in future disputes? Absolutely. Institutions are starting to invest in US studies. My own school just launched a Center for US Policy Research. Is this a wake-up call? Not yet. We have skilled diplomats but lack the think tanks and policy centers focused on America. This leaves us reacting, not anticipating. This crisis exposes a bigger challenge: India's lack of deep expertise in navigating US politics. Is India prepared?